Rise and Shine with Robbo and Becci on Vision.
Well, a lot of the world is on again in only a few days now. It's coming up very quickly, end of October, of course. And I've got Leah and Joel with me this morning who are very much involved with organising this event. So welcome, guys.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
Great to have you here. So first of all, a couple of specifics, because one thing to be aware of for people that live in southeast Queensland that can get to the event on the 31st is a new venue. So that's probably an important thing to cover off on first of all, Joel.
And Logan City Council have come to the table and they've actually done a big renovation of the Kingston Butter Factory. So they've got one of the biggest stages in southeast Queensland and we're excited to have it there at the new location.
Brilliant. That's great. So this is going to be on, because the 31st is a Monday this year, so it's a little bit different. Obviously, every year's different for that, but it's a Monday afternoon. Yep. So basically from 3, but it all really gets going at 4 and then into the evening on Monday.
Yeah, that's right. So it is a school night, but at the same time, I think it's definitely a happy alternative than kids knocking on strangers' doors. So definitely a live festival that we can really shine brightly.
Excellent, that's great. So Lee, what can people expect if they come along to the Butter Factory on the 31st? I know there's going to be rides again this year, so they got rides to enjoy, but what else is going to be happening?
Yeah, so we do have a huge range of rides this year. And they can buy very reasonably priced armbands, unlimited armbands, better rides this year, which is really exciting for the kids. There's also a whole range of different types of foods and desserts and stuff that they can purchase. But we have an incredible lineup happening from the stage with awesome singers and dancers and community people coming up and showing and just bringing to the table what they've got to show Logan, really. So we're really excited to put this festival on.
That's great. So it really is just, as you were saying, Joel, it's a bit of a positive alternative, isn't it? Because Halloween's a very dark time. I mean, and it's a little bit scary too. I mean, with kids just wandering the streets, you think, where are they going and what are they getting up to? So it's a bit more supervised, organised, but it really is an opportunity for the churches of Logan just to shine the light of Jesus into what is otherwise a very dark time.
Yeah, and you know what? We definitely encourage everybody to get around it. Like, if you can make it to Light of the World at Kingston Butter Factory, do so. But if not, wherever you are, we don't really have a Christian response to Halloween and the festivities there. And just seeing how dark it's getting, like Leah shared her heart the other night. And, from our perspective, there's nothing really like this that is bringing the local churches together to pray, to also share the light of Jesus, the disciple, to engage with community members. Of course, you got, it's an open community event. So if you believe or not believe, you can still belong. But at the same time, we definitely encourage churches, youth groups, believers to come together. This is a great opportunity to shine that light, but things are getting darker, like Leah was saying, and I might get her to comment on some of the things that she's seen around Kmart and that. But I think from my perspective, it would be great to have more of this happening around all of Australia and the world.
And that's a great thing, isn't it? I mean, obviously, this is something that you guys, and it's been going for a number of years now in this area, but every community could consider this sort of thing. It's rather than just saying, this is terrible, they're not doing anything about it. You guys have said, let's do something about it. So what's sort of, I guess, been the heart behind that, Leah, with, why you guys have decided to do something as an alternative?
Yeah, so my mum, Shirley, she started it years ago, and I think her heart behind it was to get kids off the street. So at first, years ago, Halloween wasn't a huge thing in Australia, and kids were just randomly knocking on strangers' doors that weren't prepared with lollies or anything, and it was a bit unsafe. But as the years have gone on, Australia's tried to take on that culture of Halloween, and it's become quite gruesome and quite scary for our kids. And I know that Joel and myself, we have young kids, and it becomes, for me, worrying that we're taking our kids to the shops and it's quite scary. And even walking the streets, people are starting to put up decorations that are quite horror themed and thriller themed, and it takes the choice out of our hands as to what we can show our children, because I know myself, I don't want my kids looking at that sort of stuff, and it's just become such a culture that it's okay to scare our children and it's okay for our kids to look at that sort of stuff. But there's no reason why us as Christians can't put our foot down and say actually no, that we don't want that culture for our kids. We don't want that we don't want to scare their hearts. We want to protect their hearts and their minds, and we want to we can change the culture. We can create a safe alternative. So, we can do this all around Australia. If other churches or charities or ministries want to put up their hand and say, hey, that's awesome, anyone can do it. They can contact us. They can, we can give them the blueprint, our hearts on what it can look like for us, but they can take it and run with it however they want to. But it's just it's been such a positive event in our local community, and we would encourage others to do it all over Australia.
Yeah, it's a good thing, and that's what I think is a great opportunity to consider. I mean, obviously, it's probably a bit late to be organising something for next week, but for next year, as mentioned, people can get in touch with you and say, okay, well, what do you do? How has it been structured? And then you can share what you've learned over the years to help people to get something set up.
100%.
For other times as well.
We are more than happy to help. And we're happy to meet with people and help them set up the groundwork for them to get going. That's awesome. And I also know churches and, just friends hosting light parties. It's probably not even too late to run one of those. Put an invite out to, your street and just run a light party just to create something, a different positive experience.
Exactly. Yeah, so we're not focused on death and, you say all the horror themes and what have you, but just making it a lot more positive and shedding the light of Christ into a local community.
And that's right. And unfortunately, it has become such a culture around, it's really even coming into Australia where exposing our children to that death, murder sort of stuff is okay. But, I'm for one and will stand up and say, no, it's not okay, and we don't want our kids around that.
Fair enough. That's great. Well, look, for people that want to find out more, if you're wanting to get some, ideas and thoughts for doing it in your local community, or maybe you are local to the Logan area and you want to get along on the 31st, probably the best thing is Facebook. Is that the way that you promote it? So just search for Light of the World Logan on Facebook, and you'll be able to get all the details there. Get in touch with the guys, support it if you can, and even support it in prayer, I guess. If you aren't local, pray for the event, that it'll be a great night and a good opportunity to just spread the love of Christ into these people's hearts. So good on you guys. Appreciate your heart and your passion for this, and I think it's something that we can all support in one way or the other. So all the best for the 31st.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thanks for taking time to listen to this audio on demand from Vision Christian Media. To find out more about us, go to vision.org.au.